Clappity clap clap.
Little just.
It's been so long since I've filmed a video, and it feels kind of awkward getting back to it and being like, hey old friend, how's it going? Camera that I talk to in my room alone. I love spilling water on myself. Also, I thrifted this shirt and I really liked it because of the color, but like this pocket is so weird. It's like in my pit, party in the pit. I don't know who puts a pocket like all the way over here. Like it doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense to me. Anyway, okay. Should I do the intro? Should I do it? Okay, here we go. What up, reader fam? Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm bringing you my most anticipated releases for spring, even though some of these books have already been released because I am behind on life. What's new? Nothing's new. Today's video is being sponsored by Simon Teen and Quirk Books, and I'm excited to talk about some books that are coming out that I'm excited to get to, even though I will probably get to them in like 2 or 3 years because I am always behind on everything, including books. Mostly books, yeah. Out of breath. There are 10 books that I am super heckin' excited about, 10 books that I just want to get my hands on and just caress and read with my eyeballs, and I can't wait to do it. Without further ado, let's not waste any more time. Here are 10 books that I am excited to read or get my hands on that are coming out this spring. I said that in a really weird way. Here are 10 of my most anticipated releases of springtime 2021. There we go. Let's get it. First up, we have Rule of Wolves by Queen Bardugo. That's out March 30th, and it's already out because this video is definitely coming out in April. So, can't wait to read this one. It's the final book in the King of Scars duology. I think the final book in the Grishaverse that we'll be getting for a while, and like, I don't know if I'm ready for that. Like, I love this world. Didn't necessarily love the Shadow and Bone trilogy. I'm gonna give it a reread soon and see how I feel about it again, but like, Six of Crows. Y'all know how I feel about my Crow crew. They are it for me. They are the best thing that ever happened to me since Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, yeah. Wow, what a bop. Anyway, I will admit that I left King of Scars feeling a little bit mixed. My feelings were thrown into a blender and Lee Bardugo was quick to press blend. Mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. And my feelings just kind of exploded everywhere. So let me know down below in the comments if you relate. Did anybody else feel that way after reading King of Scars? Because I was just like, what be going on here? Like, what's happening? Why is this happening? Specifically the ending. If you know, you know. Mind you, I think I need to reread King of Scars before going into this one, because I turned into a speedy demon when reading King of Scars, and I need to backtrack, back it up, and read it again. If you don't know anything about this duology, it takes place in the Grishaverse, which is the world that the Shadow and Bone trilogy and the Six of Crows duology also take place in. In this one, we follow Nikolai, who pretty much appears in every Grisha book, I believe, as he should, because he's a king, both in the literal sense and the figurative sense. And in this duology, we follow him as he gets into messy situations. That about sums it up. Next up here, I have The Skies Blue, out on April 6th. This book follows an openly gay boy living in a small town. He's mostly been living a very quiet life because he doesn't want to quote-unquote disrupt the peace. Because for him, that's just been easier than flat out being himself, which is just sad. Nobody should have to feel that way, but he decides that he's gonna quit being quiet. He's gonna be loud and proud, which is what we need you to do, buddy. Be yourself. He forms this big plan to ask his crush out to prom in the most iconic way possible, but as things go, the plans kind of hit the fan when a hackety hacker, an anonymous hacker, decides to leak his plans. And he does so in a deeply homophobic e-blast that goes viral. Sky is ready to just go back to living his quiet life, but his classmates are like, no, we're not gonna let that happen. We've got your back. And so basically the classmates form this plan to like figure out who the hacker is and expose them. So like, that sounds wholesome. I'm here for that. I love the fact that like the classmates are like, yeah, no, we're not gonna let this happen. We've got your back. We're gonna take care of this. We're gonna find out who this hacker is and we're going to expose them. That just sounds so great to me, so wholesome. I'm here for the wholesomeness. Y'all know I love me a good contemporary story, and this one sounds like one where the drama just hits the fan, and I love that in a contemporary. The more dramatic it is, the more invested I will get. And this one feels like it's taking a situation that is rough and kind of bringing a layer of hope to it. And I love that. I love when there's stories where like a dark situation happens, but like there's still that hope there. That hope that things might get better. I'm excited to dive into this one. This one is also the Booksplosion Book of the Month for the month of April, and our live show is going to be on May 1st at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's correct. I had a little like brain fart there. I almost just said mind fart, which I guess are kind of the same thing, but like, yeah, it's on April 6th. It's on May 1st. The book is out April 6th. Wow! I probably just confused the heck out of y'all. Live show on May 1st, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to join us, pick up the book and join us. It's going to be a grand old time. I always love discussing with Booksplosion. I will leave a link down below in the description to our channel. The next book on my list is The Cost of Knowing, coming out on April 6th. In this book, we follow a boy named Alex who's just trying his best, which, hello, relatable, what a mood. I'm constantly trying my best and constantly failing, but I don't want to talk about it. He's trying to be the best boyfriend, the best brother, the best employee, the best. But as much as he tries, he always tends to come up short, which again, hello, relatable. I feel that. I feel attacked. Hello, we are one and the same, Alex. Catch me out here singing This Is Me Trying by Taylor Swift on the daily because that's my life. I'm trying and I'm crying. The thing that I'm the most excited about with this book is the fact that Alex has this ability, and when he touches objects, he can just see into the future, has a bit of a that's so Raven moment. So when Alex touches a photo of his brother and sees death, he decides that he has to change that outcome. He's like, no, that's not gonna happen. Full stop. We're gonna change the future. We're gonna work it out. We're gonna change it up. We're not gonna let that happen. My brother, no death. No. Anyway, so that's what happens. I'm really excited about this one. It just sounds so good. I feel like I've read a book that's kind of similar to it. I feel like The Archived has a similar element, and maybe that's what I'm thinking of, but I just love the concept of a guy touching an object and seeing what the future of that object is. So he touches a laptop and he can see who uses it in the future. Even though I love the concept, I would hate that life. Just imagine that life. You're just constantly touching things on accident sometimes and just soaring into the future and being forced to see the future of that object and who comes in contact with it. No thank you, I don't want that life. I mean, I feel like it would be helpful in a book shopping situation because you could pick up a book and see if it's a book that I would actually read or if it's a book that's just gonna sit on my shelf and collect dust for years and years and years. Also, I could see which books I end up loving and which books I end up hating, and that would just save me from a lot of bad eggs. The next book on my list is The Prison Healer, and this book comes out on April 13th. I don't know too much about this one. It's a complicated young adult fantasy, and every time I read a YA fantasy description, sometimes I just get so confused because there's so much to it, so much layers to it, which maybe that's not even just with YA fantasy, maybe that's just with every fantasy ever, but does anybody else ever feel that way? Sometimes I read the descriptions and I'm just what? But anyway, in this book we follow a girl named Kiva who has been working as a prison healer in this notorious death prison for the last 10 years of her life. A rebel queen ends up being captured and Kiva must do everything she can to keep this rebel queen alive long enough for her to go through the trial by the ordeal, which what is that even? What is that? Let me tell you what I know about it. The trial by the ordeal is a series of elemental challenges assigned to only the most notorious criminals out there, I guess. I'm not really sure why it's such a desperation for Kiva to keep the rebel queen alive, but she receives a letter from her family being yo, keep that girl alive, keep that queen alive, and so Kiva's okay, if my family's telling me to, I gotta. So basically Kiva risks her own life for the rebel queen and takes on the trial herself. The catch is no one has ever survived it, so good luck, Kiva. Man, that would be a lot to take on. I really want to know why? Just why? Why must she take it on for the rebel queen? Why must she protect the rebel queen? I mean, I guess because she's a rebel queen and she's helping the people, I guess? I don't know. I need to know more. I need more details. I need to get into this book. And that's partly why I want to read this book so bad, is because I need to know what's going on here. Why must she risk her life for this queen? It's a YA fantasy that kind of mixes in thriller elements, and that has me really sold. I'm really excited about that aspect. I just love when a book kind of plays around with elemental magic. Do I associate it with Avatar: The Last Airbender every freaking time? Bet. But sorry, that anime has me trash for elemental magic now. Also, don't roast me, but I still need to finish Avatar ASAP. So there's that. Add that to the list of things to roast me for. Roast me up, Buttercup. Throw me on a grill and get to roasting. That visual. No. That was bad. Don't do it. The next book on my list is The Forest of Stolen Girls, out on April 20th. Wani and her sister were once vanished and were found unconscious near a gruesome crime scene. All they remember is that their captor wore a painted mask. That's it. No more, no deeds, just a painted mask. This shook up their family quite a bit, as it should. If your family is not shook up by a situation like that, I would be a little concerned. Since that whole thing went down, they moved away to feel safer and to be just kind of separated from the situation, but a similar situation ends up happening in that same area, and Wani's father gets kind of wrapped up in it. Her father just so happens to be a detective, and so he returns back to their hometown to investigate further. But then Daddy-O ends up vanishing, and so Wani's great, now I gotta go back to my hometown and find my dad. But as she begins to look further into this, investigate, and get into the mystery, she kind of begins to unleash these memories that she had kind of locked away, I think probably because of the trauma of the situation. This one just sounds so freaking good. The mystery mystery element I am here for. I'm so interested to just see how things evolve with this one, like what happened to the father, what's gonna happen with Wani, and like what kind of things does she uncover, like what things kind of trigger memories and what those memories are, and like how that like leads her to finding her father, if she does even end up finding her father, because who knows, he might be banished for good. I hope not. I don't want that to be the case. I want her to find Daddy-O, but we'll see. It's also historical fiction as well, so it takes place during 1426, during the Joseon period. I don't know much about that period in time in Korea, but I've been wanting to like learn more about it, and I know that this isn't like going to be the thing to teach me about that time in history, but I'm excited to kind of see that as the backdrop within this book. Also, this might be my favorite cover to come out of 2021 so far. Like, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful book cover. The next book on my list is Lycanthropy and Other Chronic Illnesses, out April 27th. In this book, we follow Priya, who is working her butt off to achieve her pre-med dreams at Stanford. But all that changes when she is diagnosed with chronic Lyme disease. She's left with no choice but to move back in with her family, who are like a little bit overbearing when it comes to like their relationship. They're just like a little much, you know, like a little bit suffocating, but like she has no other choice but to live with them. She is desperate for things to get back to normal and just to get back to her life, but she's thankful for the one thing in her life that is normal, and that is her online pen pal Bridget, along with the rest of the members in her online community called Ouch My Bones. Can we talk about how iconic that support group name is? Ouch My Bones, like I love it. Eventually though, Bridget just goes completely offline, leaving Priya just super confused, like where did her online friend go? Curiosity gets the best of Priya, and she steals her family's car and goes off to find out what's going on with Bridget. When she gets to Bridget, she finds that her condition has worsened, and she promises to stay by her side. Together they go on a journey that will deepen and challenge their friendship in a rather unexpected way. Now I know that this book sounds really serious, like I just made it sound very serious, but there is a bit of a fantastical element that comes into play that I didn't really mention, because I read a little bit about it and I don't want to spoil myself. Like I want to just fully enjoy this book, but there is an element that comes into play that's just like so unexpected, and I don't want to ruin it for you, I don't want to ruin it for me, so like that's all I'm gonna give you, that's all I'm gonna tell you, but like things are a lot more unexpected than you would expect. Is that how I want to say that? I guess so. I'll just say that I am very excited for this kind of paranormal element that's going to come into play, because I think it's just going to add a lot of spice to this book. Like it's just going to like level up this book, man. Like it already sounds great. I'm already really excited about it because I feel like it's a book that's going to really focus on friendship. And I love when books just kind of like tackle that topic and like really just kind of delve into the depths of friendship. It's just I'm here for it. Wow, I'm really dramatic. And I'm really excited to see that be explored here, but I just know that it's going to be leveled up by this paranormal element that's going to come into play, and I'm so here for it. This book also has a really fun format because of the fact that there is like that online support group, and like Bridget is her online pen pal. There is some like fun formatting things. Like I think a lot of it is in chat log. I think there's some email things happening in this book, so I love when books also bring in that like fun element where it just kind of like changes up the format in which the story is told. I love that. I'm here for that. This is another Booksplosion book of the month. This is going to be our Booksplosion book of the month for the month of May. Again, I will leave more information about Booksplosion down below in the description. We don't have a live show date set yet, but once that becomes available, I will let you guys know about it so you can join it. But this book comes out on April 27th, so if you want to pick it up and read it with us, you really should. It's going to be a lot of fun. I feel like this one is going to be really fun to discuss. Let me just tell you that. It's going to be really fun because of how unique it's going to be. I'm so excited for it. The next book on my list is The Ones We're Meant to Find. This book comes out on May 4th. This book has two perspectives. The first one that we hear from is C, who 3 years prior to us being introduced to her awoke on an abandoned island. She has nothing but an old Android phone and this rickety abandoned house, and also one memory that she has a sister and she's gotta find her. Then we've got Casey, who is a STEM prodigy who wants to escape from the science and home she once trusted. That's all I know, but I am interested by just that alone. Maybe I also am interested because I love this book cover. It's just so good. Like, it's so beautiful. There's something about it that just like has wedged itself into my heart, just like down the middle. That would be painful if a book cover like edged its way into the middle of my heart. Anyway, I'm guessing that this one is going to have interweaving storylines, which if you know anything about me, that's something that I just like love in books. I love that format of storytelling when we've got like two different storylines that are just like just like that, and eventually they come together and you're like, what the heck, mine? I love when books do that, and I am hoping that that's the case with this one. Like, I hope it delivers the weaving storyline. Like, if it doesn't, that's okay. It's all Gucci. But like, I hope That's what we're getting. And I feel like I've heard from people who have read arcs of this book that this one is set to be kind of a trippity-doo-dah, trippity-day kind of book where it's just like, what the heck is going on half the time? But then like everything comes together and you're like, whoa. So I'm excited for this one. I hope it's going to be really great. I think it's going to be really great. And I hope it's just as good as the cover because there ain't no greater feeling than a beautiful book cover along with a beautiful story. Like when those two are paired, that is powerful, let me tell you. The next book on my list is Better Than the Movies, and this book comes out on May 4th. This book is set to be kind of like an ode to romantic comedies. In it, we follow Liz, whose forever crush moved away quite a while ago, but now he's back. Oh snap. And she's willing to do everything she can to have her ultimate rom-com moment. Where's my rom-com moment at? Why haven't I had a rom-com moment? I want a rom-com moment. I want my life to be like the movies, but it ain't. It's boring as heck, mundane as heck. I'm waiting. I know I'm in a simulation. Whoever's controlling me, let's go, let's get it. I'm bored. Anyway, back to it. Liz. She wants her rom-com moment. But as things go, when we want that romantic situation, we like play it out in our heads. We're like, oh yeah, we're gonna get it. Things don't necessarily go according to plan. And our heart begins to pitter-patter for somebody else. Oh, me. Tends to hate romance in books. Also me. A rom-com? Gimme. We'll see how I end up feeling about this one because like YA romance books don't always like mesh with me. Y'all know this. Y'all know this for sure. But I'm willing to give this one a chance. I feel like it's gonna be a light, fun-hearted read and I love books like that. I love books where it's just like you can take a break from reality and just have some heartfelt, giddy feels inside giddy feels. That's a thing, right? Giddy? I feel giddy. Yeah. Sounded weird when I said it. Sounded like a word I made up. And like, honestly, I make up a lot of words that I think are actual words in my day-to-day life. So I wouldn't be surprised if I did make it up. But like, giddy's a word. Anyway, hopefully going into this one, knowing the fact that it is going to be a bit heavier on the romance side, it'll be okay. It'll be bearable. I'll make it through. We'll see. The next book on my list is made in Korea, and this book is out May 18th. Another rom-com book. Why do I keep putting rom-coms on my anticipated releases when things could go bad? When things could end badly. It's fine. I'm just gonna give it a go and see how it goes. Anyway, this book, it sounded wholesome, so I had to add it to my list. In this book, we follow Valerie, who is running a very successful beauty business within her school, and then enters Wes, this new kid at school who dreams of pursuing music after he graduates. He decides that he's gonna start selling K-pop branded beauty products within his school, and his business just ends up skyrocketing. Now, obviously, this makes our other character, Valerie, a little bit upset. Like, girl's been killing it, and this boy comes in and he starts killing it, and it's like, okay, we got some competition here. But of course, as I said, it's a romance book, so like 1 + 1 = 2. Wes plus Valerie probably equals love, if I were to guess. There's another competition flaring up. A competition to win each other's hearts. Oh, that was cringe, but I said it, so can't take it back. I mean, I could edit it out, but I'm not gonna. I love a good competitive atmosphere when it comes to like book plots. Like I love that in a book, especially in contemporary stories. Like I really love when it's like two people like really competing against each other. And this one sounds like it's definitely gonna be a bit of like an enemies to lovers situation, which I am also here for that. Like I have signed up. I love that in a book and I can't wait for the angst. It's gonna be great. We have arrived at the last book on my list, and that is Version 0, coming out on May 25th. In this book, we follow Max, who is working for a major social media company. As he's working for them, he kind of is realizing how shady they are, and he's like, oh no, what have I signed myself up for? He begins to question what they're doing with their user data, and he's very vocal about that, like within the business. He's like, I don't know that this is right. Like, should we be doing this? I don't know. And guess where that ends him up? Jobless. Blocked from ever working in this industry again. Max ends up turning to his friend, and they come up with this great idea. Their idea is to reset the internet. Can you imagine if somebody just like came through and reset the internet? Like that would be something. What would happen? what would happen? Chaos is what would happen. Max and his friend quickly realize that like doing something like that comes with big consequences. Who knew? Shoot, I could have told them that. Anyways, I am so interested in this one. This is David Yoon's like first step into the adult world. He's written quite a few young adult books, but this is his entrance into the adult world. It's a sci-fi with a bit of a mystery thriller element to it, and I am just so very interested to see how things turn out. Like just hearing the fact that they're gonna reset the internet, I'm just like, that is for sure gonna end up badly. Like, huh? So those are 10 books that I am highly anticipating this spring. I'm super excited to get to all of them, obviously. Like I said at the beginning of this video, who knows when I'll get to any of them. But regardless, I'm still excited about them. You guys should let me know down below in the comments some books that you are anticipating the release of this spring. What are some books that are on your TBR? Let me know down below in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to go and hit that like button. If you want to see more bookish content from me, be sure to go and hit subscribe or go and hit that bell icon and you'll be notified every time I post new videos. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope your day is bright, that tomorrow is brighter. Keep reading what your heart desires, and I will see you soon with a new video. Bye-o! First up, we have Rule of Wolves by Queen Dar...